Alright, I'm Aaron, straight A student in Kungsholmen Gymnasium, always loving up life, and this is the notebook that has helped me so much in my journey and in changing my life. And it was such an effective tool and helped me massively reduce bad habits like doom scrolling, staying up super late, and so on. So bro, in the next 7 to 8 minutes or however long this video will be, I'll share exactly how I use this notebook and how you can try out one on your own. And this video will be super valuable to you. It will be one of the most valuable videos you'll watch today and has the power to significantly change your life. Like, hear me out, this notebook, it might seem like a small solution, but it has genuinely helped me a lot. It's such a small thing. And I think that if you start implementing something like this, it will drastically change your life for the better. So a few months ago, I bought a big ass whiteboard. I already made a whole video about it, but basically I needed it because I felt like my life was so cluttered and I needed a way to just organize everything in front of me that is like a physical thing and not something on a digital place. I just needed something that was accessible to me all the time. And so I thought, why not buy a big ass whiteboard? So I went to my nearest IKEA and I bought a whiteboard, and it took up like almost half my entire desk. So I used that, and that definitely helped me bring more clarity into my life, because back then it felt like I had so much shit going on. Like, my whole life was just cluttered and I didn't know like what to do, because there was so much noise and I couldn't like filter out everything and go to, what I truly intended, because there was just too much. When you have too much on your plate, you don't know what the hell to do. But that was kind of like my thing. And you might remember the quote that you saw in the beginning, clarity affords focus, or something like that. But basically I wanted a way to like clear things up so that I could focus and make more progress onto my goals. So I got a big old whiteboard, and that worked for a few good months. But then it started to get really annoying to have this big giant metallic fucking thing on my desk all the fucking time. And so I decided, fuck this, I'm gonna go get a notebook and try this out. And this was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Not only does this give you so much more clarity, just like the whiteboard does, it's also small and compact, so it's portable, you can bring it anywhere. Like, I brought it here with me on the school gym to film, for example. Usually I just have it like open on my desk. And the point is to use it just like a whiteboard, just like you would a whiteboard. So every single day, no matter what, I just open up a new page and it's like a fresh sheet of paper. And I don't care about like wasting pages or whatever. I just write down whatever comes to mind. No like organization, no aesthetics, fuck that during this notebook. It's just like pure, just stuff to do. And I'll tell you exactly how I use it very soon. But this is a small notebook. You can just pick it up anywhere from IKEA. I don't know where the hell I got this from. I think my mom got it for free from her office. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. But get yourself like a small A5 type notebook. Because without this notebook, I felt like whenever I made progress, I was happy for a while. But then randomly, I just fell off completely. It's like you make progress and then you just fall off for like a couple of weeks. You make progress for a couple of weeks, you fall off for a couple of weeks. And this notebook will not only help you have more clarity in what you're doing, but you'll also be more consistent, so that you know that you'll be able to stick at it for long enough and be able to really pull in the results. So the main thing I do is to make lists in this notebook. You can use this notebook however you feel fit, but let me just share how I do it. So lists are a very powerful thing, and I picked this up from a book called Rework. I got it from India. My dad had it before and I just picked it up. And it's a good book. It's a genuinely good business book. I mean, it's not like that high level, but it's nice. And one of the tips in there was to make lists of everything. Because especially when you have a lot of things going on in life, like maybe you have multiple different pursuits, maybe you have school, gym, filmmaking, YouTube, business, so many different things, it can be really helpful to just simplify everything down into a list, so that every single day when you wake up, you have a list that you can simply follow. Like, let me show you an example, okay? All right, here. So this is 11th of February 2025. I'll probably put like a picture up so you can see. And it's just a list, you can see 1, 2, 3. And at the end of the day, I crossed out everything. So it's stuff like, my first thing in the morning would be to read the Swedish book. We were reading a Swedish book back then. And then there's stuff like gym, and then the school study, and like what to ask about, I think. Yeah, I remember asking our maths teacher about science studies and collection points, all that shit. And then there's also maths prep after I came home, and then like clean files. So it's just a list of everything that's been like plaguing my mind. Just whack it into a list and it will just stay there. You don't have to like spend more attention and effort just holding it in your mind. because your brain is for having ideas, not holding them. Maybe you've heard about this before. I think Tiago Forte came out with that quote. But this list is kind of like, you know, if you have a Notion, if you are like into like the self-improvement niche, you probably have a Notion. And so this listing is kind of like that, but it's physical, it's accessible everywhere. And that's a thing that I like about having it physical, because when you have it on digital, sure, there are positives, like you can access it anywhere. Like you go off to fucking, I don't know, China, you can still, no, you can't access it in China. I don't know, if you go off to like US or something, if you travel, then you can still access it anywhere. So that's a positive with that. But I found that if I have it on digital, I also have like 98% of my work on digital. So it kind of gets lost in that, and I feel I can really easily succumb to, you know, bad habits like doom scrolling. If I open my phone and then out of like fucking habit, like old habits, let's go to Instagram Reels instead of going to my list. So to prevent that at all, and to remove that liability, you know, assets and liabilities, we just have it physical and accessible. And I like it, you know, because it's always with you. It's always like physical. In this world where everything is like digital, some like analog stuff is great. But whatever floats your boat, you know, if you like it digital, then go on. And the third thing is, I touched upon it earlier, but it frees up brain space. Your brain is for having ideas, not storing them. And so with this notebook, you can just jot down and whack every single idea that you have down into this notebook. And then later you can put whatever ideas you wrote down. Maybe like, I don't know, you were sleeping and then you're about to like fall asleep, but then you come up with like the fucking most brilliant idea. And so you have to write it down so you don't forget it, obviously, because you're going to go to sleep. So you can just quickly jot it down there and go to sleep. Next morning, you can wake up, whack this into like Notion or whatever you use. And yeah, that's the problem solved. You don't have to waste your brain power just holding that information, because you can just simply write it down, quick and easy. Also, one thing that I like about having a physical notebook like this, I think it's just like a personal thing. It really doesn't move the needle, but it's just like, you know, a fun little personal thing, is that you can build up lots of memories in these pages. Because every single day, think about it, you're writing down everything that you're going to do. And if you think about the bigger picture, right, if you know, get out of your little rabbit hole and you think about the overall picture, you can see that, you know, how you were doing on between these months and how you were thinking on these months and what you were putting your action and efforts into. So like I can see here, it was a lot of like, you know, analogies back then, which I was doing, and entries, and it's kind of the same, but you can see like when we had tests, it was like filled with test stuff. So it's great for memories, because you can keep as many of these as you want and you can just scroll back through them. Like maybe you can have one notebook for half a year or a quarter of a year or something. Depends on how fast you use it. But yeah, it's really good for keeping memories, because I can visualize, right? Imagine 5 years down the line, I'll have like stacks of these notebooks and it's just gonna be filled with all the stuff that in the present day I had to like work on. All the lists, all the ideas that I got, all the things that I wanted to quickly jot down. I think it's a nice like added benefit of it. So yeah, get yourself one of these. It's a notebook. Don't be a brokey, bro. It's a fucking notebook. Just get one of these. It's not that expensive. And you probably already have one already, but try it out, you know. And whatever tasks you have, whatever things you're thinking of, write it down, jot it down, and you'll see how useful this can be in just simplifying your life, so you can make as much or even more progress with less effort. So that's all I want to share with you today, bro. Also, I'm pretty sure that almost my entire class found this channel, so that's great. That fucking hell, lovely, bro. So I don't know how these videos are. Hopefully they're good, and I'm always improving these, of course. And if you have any feedback, please contact me. I love feedback. I love improving on it, and I know that these are not the best videos. They can improve a lot. So yeah, that's like a message to my class, if they're still watching this far, which I don't know. I mean, none of my class are my audience. And yeah, none of them are. And so yeah, that's my little message. As always, your potential is only limited by your intention. Take care, man.